We're joined now by IFP leader Velenkosini Hlabisa and DA leader John Steenhuisen. Gentlemen, good evening and thank you very much for your time. Key changes to very important portfolios, one of finance, the other being of state security. But there have been changes also, I suppose, to the health ministry. There's continuation there with Dr. Joe Phaahla, who has been a deputy there, coming in now as Minister of Health. But Hlabisa, let me begin with you. What's your reaction?
Good evening, Thabo, as well as the viewers of Channel 405. The IFP takes this reshuffling as better than nothing. We welcome the appointment in key departments like health, security, as well as finance, although we have some hesitations in as far as the Minister of Finance is concerned, because we are not sure how strong will he be to stand for what it is right, as Tito Mboweni was able to do so. We said it during the beginning of the looting spree, that the security cluster, something serious had to be done. Yes, we welcome the new appointment of Thandi Modise. She will bring some experience in that department, and we were hoping the state security will remain an independent department with a fully competent person. And even in terms of skills and knowledge, it will only be a matter of time. What difference will it make if it is put under the president? And that is where we would somehow have some issues as the IFP. But by and large, the key department is most welcome. We were hoping the president will take a bold decision to cut down the deputy minister positions, because they are not that much necessary. We saw in the case of Joe Phaahla, when the minister Velenkosini went on a special leave, he could not be utilized, yet competent enough and in terms of knowledge and appropriate skills. So now the issue of deputy ministers will really need to be given a relook, because it takes a lot of money, yet it adds a very little value in ensuring that the government is meeting the needs of our people. At the time when the economy has collapsed due to COVID-19 and the looting spree, the issue of deputy ministers really needs to be given a serious consideration and a bold decision, if need be, just cut off or reduced, very minimal, to key departments that really need the deputy ministers.
All right, but Hlabisa, I'd like to bring in DA leader John Steenhuisen into this conversation. Mr. Steenhuisen, good evening, and thank you so much for your time tonight. Your reaction then to the cabinet reshuffle, and are you disappointed you didn't make the cut? All right, I do understand that we just lost DA leader there, John Steenhuisen. I'm keen to find out from him if he's disappointed that he didn't make the cut, because he seemed quite eager. Now, Hlabisa, coming back to you, when you look at someone like Minister Ayanda Dlodlo has been redirected then from state security to public service and administration, and others had been saying that the ministers within the security cluster do not even need to be redirected. They need to be shown the door. What's your take?
As you will recall, during the looting spree, the IFP was clear that the president had to show the ministers in the security cluster the door, because they let down the country. The contradictions they made was an embarrassment. And the reshuffling of Minister Dlodlo to another department really is not fair to the people of South Africa, that a person who demonstrated incompetence, instead of being shown the door, but is being rewarded, being redeployed to another section. But in any event, this is how the ANC does things. They take you from the local government to the provincial government. If you mess up with the provincial government, they take you to the national, or from national down to the provincial, or to an employee in a particular department, instead of demonstrating that incompetency should be shown the door. They don't do that. Once again, the president did so. That is why I said it is better than nothing. There are areas, especially in finance, health, and defense, we say he did better there, but in other departments, he should have really gone too far. Yeah. That is why I say it is better than nothing.
But Hlabisa, let's talk then about the other announcement made tonight by President Cyril Ramaphosa, an expert panel to investigate what went wrong during the unrest. I mean, do we need another panel to investigate what went wrong?
Really, Thabo, really, it was really not necessary. We are really wondering why the delay from the president. There was really no need for what he announced this evening.
And of course, the welcoming of the national advisor to the security of the country, Sydney Mufamadi, coming back in to advise on national security matters. The IFP, your reaction to that appointment?
It would have been Thabo, it would have been better that the president went all the way out to get someone with fresh brains, talent, skills on the issue of state security. Because going back to Sydney Mufamadi is going back to what you had years back. Yes, he made a good contribution in the report he produced, but at this time it would have been more ideal if he went for someone fresh with more skills and relevant knowledge in as far as the security is concerned, even in terms of qualification, the competence. Because Sydney Mufamadi, we know him, we have been with him for quite a long time. A fresh mind was needed with more strategies and energy to deal with the issue of state security, not to be repeated what we saw during the looting spree, where we were found wanting in as far as the state security was concerned.
And Hlabisa, we're hearing of an expert panel that is going to be reviewing the preparedness then of the state to respond to that unrest. We're seeing Professor Sandy Africa. We're also seeing the two others who are going to be experts in the field to try and see where things went wrong and how to better the response should we find ourselves in this position. Did government really need yet another investigation into the unrest, or is it as clear as day as to what happened here?
Really, the government does not need that. What the government needs now, get competent people deployed into positions of ministers. Because if you miss it there, you only redeploy people, taking them from another area to another area, you are missing it. Get competent people in terms of knowledge, in terms of skills, and in terms of talents, and go for fresh brains so that you bring new innovations in terms of the departments where we really experienced challenges, where we were exposed during the looting spree, then the support system can be there in terms of the people who will do the groundwork. But at a ministerial level, if you miss it in terms of competency, in terms of skills, knowledge, fresh brains, you will lose it at the end of the day.
Hlabisa, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us. Leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party, Velenkosini Hlabisa.